Now, ladies and gentlemen, just when the CS community was starting to panic, without any word from the devs nor update for one whole week, Valve have spoken. On Friday evening, the devs treated us not to just an average update, but a major one at that. It may not be the biggest one we've seen for blog post size, but by far the most important. This includes the community workshop being reintroduced, with the ability to play and create custom maps. They also went into detail with a large amount of bug fixes, changes to skins, and quality of life updates. Today's video, we're going to break down the blog post, show changes made alongside a bunch more. Now, today's video sponsor is Skins Monkey. Skins Monkey is a buying and trading marketplace for your CS items. It makes a safe and easy way to trade out your inventory for something new. By using my code MANDO, you can get a deposit bonus of 35% alongside a free $5 in your first trade, with a max bonus if you spend $100 or more. With a large variety of skins, deposit options, alongside daily, weekly, and monthly giveaways, they're doing a great job rivaling other competition. If interested, it'll be at the top of the link in the description below. Now, just a couple days ago, of course with my luck, we made a video about Valve not talking to the community, nor updating CS2. Just a few hours later, they proved us all wrong. It seems to be the devs have followed through with their word, wanting to communicate and having a better community and relationship with us. This goes for fixing the game, making it the best as possible to introduce us to new content later on. Now, with it being Saturday, November 4th, last night on Friday, the second day in a row, we saw yet again another update. Now, this isn't really big enough to cover for one specific video. There were just some quality of life updates once again, fixes to matchmaking, and various bug fixes and tweaks according to them. Now, according to Gabe Follower, a leaker and data miner for Counter-Strike 2, go check him out if you haven't already, he said in a recent tweet it looks like the devs are working on something to do with lag compensation and adjusting things with the sub-tick system, pretty much making it better for us, the players. Now, it's unsure if this was added in this recent update as of last night or the one before where the community workshop got reintroduced. Now, let's go back to where everything started. On Thursday, November 2nd, Valve sent out a tweet saying welcome back community maps, with a brand new blog post of its own just for the workshop, which was pretty awesome, saying the maps workshop is officially open for business, community map makers can start uploading their maps to the workshop, and community servers can also host those maps, and a few other things that we'll touch on later. Now, following this, we saw probably the biggest update to Counter-Strike 2. With this being so in-depth, we're going to briefly go over it, share the most important points, go a little bit into the workshop, as well as show us some skin changes, because there can't be a Counter-Strike 2 update with things getting broken or completely fixed. So this is split into multiple different categories: workshop, gameplay, maps, servers, and of course miscellaneous. For the workshop, it's stating that it's officially up. You can upload your maps to now the workshop. The community servers can host those workshop maps. They added and also updated all the current workshop tools. For the gameplay category, they fixed a case where user commands would be ignored by poor network connections. So I'm not 100% sure what this means, but it's pretty important to myself. Whenever I'd lag a lot in Counter-Strike 2, I may even have 60 ping if it would go from 30 to 60 in just a couple seconds. Sometimes by pressing W to go forward or not pressing it at all, it would be delayed a few seconds. It would start walking at the most outrageous time, and most of the time take me out of the round. They fixed a case where weapons would fire faster than intended. I also ran into this a couple weeks ago on Mirage in Palace. I had an AK on T side, and I went up to over 100 ping in just a few seconds, and I wish I had this on recording, but of course we can't view demos. I shot an entire AK mag, that being 30 rounds in the matter of half of a second, and everyone in the game heard it, also saw it on my team. They fixed a case where if you shot multiple rounds, it would show that it hit somebody, or show multiple gunshots when there was actually just one. They also fixed a case where players would fail to keep their weapon in between rounds if they survived. This was specifically for overtime, but I haven't seen that yet. So a new addition to Counter-Strike 2, still in the gameplay category, is decoy grenades interact aesthetically with smoke clouds. So it actually looks like these things are shooting in smoke. This is somewhat of a cool new feature to CS2, and makes me think decoys will actually start to be used a little bit more. I'm unsure at this moment if they changed the noise of them, but by the sounds of it and just me guessing, it seems like they have. It might have been a shadow update, we're not sure. Will these be used in pro and competitive play at the higher levels? Probably not, but it seems to be they actually have somewhat of a purpose now. So buying one on pistol when you buy your armor might not be the worst idea anymore. There's some quality of life updates for knives, mainly to do with damage, prioritizing enemies and not your teammates, and lastly for the gameplay category, for any given map location. It doesn't matter how you enter that location. If it's a new area in the map, through a doorway, through a smoke, through a higher level, your eye height in the game is now going to be consistent. But the maps category, it's pretty slim, just for Inferno. They fixed clipping in various areas, fixed various micrographs, fixed some skybox issues, and removed birds for mistaken grenades. Now with this update for Inferno, I saw a significant decrease in performance. While playing deathmatch, competitive, premier, my FPS would be normal when you start the game. It'd be around 250 to 300 FPS. But as soon as you start to walk around, you see other people, my FPS drops immediately to 150 to below 100, which makes it very inconsistent and just overall laggy and at sometimes unplayable. Now as it goes for the server category, they fixed a bug where scoreboard ping would actually be stuck at a lower value than your real ping. Now since I can see my ping now with this new addition in the top right, I can see that all the time, but this was a problem for me, especially if it fluctuates very quickly. Game servers will now print a global message to both chats when players acknowledge newly required items while connected to the game server. So if you unbox a knife, get a case or something new to your inventory, it's now going to show up back in the chat, which is always nice to see and also a big flex for some people. Go get them with those P250 sand dunes. And the rest for the server category is pretty much just simple quality of life updates. And lastly for for this blog post is the miscellaneous category. They improved rendering of certain stickers. They didn't mention this, but it was also for certain skins. We'll go into more detail after this. They added wins and wins needed for competitive menu map tiles. So if you're playing competitive, which honestly I haven't seen too many people do when there's Premier, it shows you how many wins needed to get that rank on that specific map and how many you have total on each map alongside your rank, which is always nice to see. They fixed various and minor HUD bugs, various skins and sticker bugs, improved performance of player animations on server and client, boost player contrast no longer applies to dead players, and that pretty much concludes Thursday's blog post. So for a quick recap, here are the most important things from the blog post. Decoys seem to have gotten a buff, especially in smokes, and may be usable in a competitive environment. There's huge FPS dips on Inferno. Wins now show up on the page for competitive. CL Bob, nor the ability to play on the left-hand side of your screen have been added to the game yet, but in my opinion, this week I'm going to give Valve a pass for this one, because of their major changes, fixes, and additions of the community workshop. As it goes for skin changes, dozens of stickers are fixed, more on par with CSGO, but of course just better with the Source 2 engine, and it also seems to be red and green skins, stickers, gloves, knives, really any tradable item, have been fixed but also buffed, which has increased the price quite a bit on really every item. So if you're someone who's intrigued to want to buy one of these because of the price jump, we probably got a few more months, if not maybe a year, before prices just settle down, and Valve doesn't need to fix these skins by buffing, nerfing, or removing their new effects from CS2, which therefore can affect the price. And lastly, the workshop, the biggest part of this update. Now maps, at the time this update actually dropped on Thursday, November 2nd, within the first couple of hours, no one could really actually access the workshop or mostly download maps, rather seem broken. Just a few hours later, Valve did a shadow update and everything was back working as normal. Now, reason you haven't seen your favorite map from CSGO on CS2 yet is when you submit a workshop map to get added, Valve has to manually approve it, make sure there's no bugs or specifically scams, and also runs to their standard. With it being Source 2 and no longer on the Source 1 engine, some of these creators might have to take their time if they haven't worked on them already. Now, to go more in detail on the community workshop, I'm most likely going to cover that in a video later tonight or possibly tomorrow morning. This will answer very frequent questions I've gotten on the channel, but also people have on social media, alongside some of the best maps when it comes to perfecting your game, such as Crosshair, View Model, changing it with ease, aim training, as well as some maps for the memes. Let me know what you guys think down below. I gotta say, I'm very excited to show off some workshop maps later today. It seems in the Source 2 engine, Counter-Strike 2 almost has endless possibilities. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Stay positive, stay sexy. I'm out, guys. Peace.